Hello my precious friends, I really hope that you are doing great. Welcome to our today's class. It's our second lesson on transformations. So today we are looking at example 2, which is combining rotation, reflection, and also enlargement. So in part A, we are told that on the grid, draw the square whose vertices are A has the coordinates of 6, -2, B has 7, -2, C has 7, -1, and D has the coordinates of 6, -1. So of course the first thing to do, we are going to draw what we call a Cartesian plane, which simply involves the value of, that is obtaining the y-axis and also the x-axis. But before we do that, we need to check the values. So on the x-axis, we need +6. Here we need 7, we need 7, we need 6. We also need up to +9. So we need more values on the positive side of the x-axis as opposed to the negative side. Therefore, I'm going to plot my y-axis through this particular point here. So this will be my y-axis. Then I'm going to put my x-axis through this particular point here. So this will be my x-axis. So you can see I'm having more space on the right hand side of the x-axis because I need more values on that side. Therefore, I'm going to skip 2 boxes. So this will be +1. Then I'm going to have +2, then +3, +4. Then after 2 boxes, +5. Then this will be +6, +7, +8, up to +9. Maybe I can add one value up to +10. Then of course I need to make this continuous. Then I label it as the x-axis. Similarly, I'm going to have -1 on this side, -2. Then this will be -3. Then maybe up to -4. Then of course I also make this side continuous. Then I'm going to use the same scale on the vertical axis. So this will be 1. Then after 2 boxes, I'm going to have 2. Then this will be 3. Then this will be +4. Then maybe up to +5. Then of course I'll also make these axes continuous. Then this is our vertical or the y-axis. Then on the negative side, this will be -1. Then this will be -2. Here I'm going to have -3. Then -4. Then of course this will be -5. I believe those values are enough. So I also make this side to be continuous. Maybe I can add one more point up to +6. Then after that, I'm going to simply plot the points. Of course, this is the origin or the point 0, 0. So the first point A has the coordinates of 6, -2. So this is +6, then -2. -2 is somewhere here. So this is 6, -2. So that is the point labeled A. Then point B, we have 7, -2. So this is 7, then -2, of course, is here. So this is our point B, 7, -2. Point C, we have 7, -1. So this is 7, -1 is here. So this is the point C. Then point D, I have 6, -1. So this is +6. Then of course, -1. So this is the point D. So of course after that I'm going to join all the points, that is A to B. So let me join point A to point B, then of course B to C, point B to point C, then point C to point D. I join C to point D, then of course point D back to the starting point, which was point A. So this is my square A, B, and C. Then part B of the question, they want us to, that on the same grid, draw A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime, the image of A, B, C, D, under an enlargement, scale factor, +3, then center 9, -4. So the first thing, I'm going to locate the center. It is +9, -4. So this is +9. So negative 4 is around here. So this is our center. You can see this is negative 4. Then just like for the case of rotation, we are going to join all the points to the center of enlargement. Then remember, when the scale factor is positive, then the object and the image must be on the same side of the center of enlargement. But for the case of when the scale factor is negative, then the image and its object must be on opposite sides of the center of enlargement. Therefore, for this case, it simply means that I'm going to join these particular points to the center of enlargement. So this is our center of enlargement. So I'm going to connect point A to the center of enlargement. Then I make it longer, because I know that the image is supposed to be on the same side as the object of this particular center of enlargement. I also connect point B through the center of enlargement. Then similarly, I'll also connect the point C through our center of enlargement. So this is point B. Then I also connect point C through the center of enlargement. So this is my point C. Then of course, I also connect point D through the center of enlargement. But you realize point B and C, they will be sharing this particular line. They'll be sharing that line. Therefore, there's no need of me redrawing it. Therefore, we need to perform now the enlargement. So to do that, I'm going to use my pair of compass. So you take your compass through that particular center of enlargement. So make sure the tip of your compass points to the center of enlargement this way, the way I'm doing it. Then after that, you rotate it through. Let me start with point A. So I'm going to reduce my compass until it aligns through point A. So I need to move it upward a little bit. Yeah, once it is able to go through the point A, we are going to make an arc through that particular point A. And because the scale factor is positive 3, we need to move 3 times. So let me make an arc through point A. So that is the first step. So because the scale factor is positive 3, we are going to move 3 times. So that is the first time. Then I take the tip of my compass through this particular point A that of course I've made. Then I make another arc. So this is the second time. Then we need the third time because the scale factor is positive 3. Therefore, we are going to move 3 times. So I'm going to make another movement here. So whatever I've obtained, that is the image of A, which is our point A prime. Then we are going to repeat the same procedure for the other points. So let me move to point B. So you take your compass to the center of enlargement this way. You take the tip of your compass to the center of enlargement. Then you align it with point B. So I want to enlarge point B. So this way. Then of course, once it is at point B, you make an arc through that particular point B. So I'm making my first arc. Then with the same radius, transfer the compass to the point B or the mark that you've made. Then you make another arc on the same line. Remember, we need to move 3 times, so those are 2 times. So I'm making my third movement. So this is the third time. So actually, our B prime was supposed to come at this point. So this is our B prime. Then we move to point C. We perform the same procedure, point C. So I'm going to take my compass to the center of enlargement. So this is my center of enlargement. Then I'm going to elongate my compass such that it attains at this particular point C. Once it is there, I'm going to make an arc. Then of course I transfer my compass, the tip of my compass through point C that I've just made. Then I make another arc on the same line. So we need to move 3 times. So I also put the tip of my pair of compass through this mark here, then I make the other arc. So whatever I obtain, that will be C prime. So this is my point C prime. Then of course we have point D, which was lying on the same line as the point B. Therefore I don't need to draw another line, but we just need to make 3 movements along this line. So this is our center. So take the tip of your compass through the center, then stretch it to point D. So this is my point D. Then we need to make an arc through that particular point D. So this is my arc, the first movement. Then we make the second movement. Take your compass through this point, then make another arc. So of course the arc will go through point B. Then we make the third arc. So this is the third arc should go through this point here. So actually, accurately, this point was supposed to come at this point here. So this is the D prime. Then after that, you are going to connect point A prime to B prime. So this is our A prime. So I'm going to connect it to B prime. Then B prime should be connected to C prime. Then of course, C prime should be connected to D prime. Then of course, D prime to B connected back to the starting point, which was A prime. So this is our square after an enlargement through scale factor 3, center 9, -4. Then we move to part that is Roman 2, whereby you are told that we need to, on the same axis, to also draw A prime prime, B prime prime, C prime prime, D prime prime, the image of A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime, under a reflection through the line x is equals to 0. Now remember that line x is equals to 0 is also called the y-axis. So we need to reflect it along the y-axis. So that is what we are calling line x is equal to 0. So I need to reflect it through the y-axis. So I'm simply going to take, let me just rub these points that have been made here. So we need to reflect this through the y-axis because that is the line x is equal to 0. So let me label this particular line. That is our y-axis. We need to label it. We need to label the y-axis. So this is the line that we are calling line y. That is line x is equals to 0. That is our y-axis. So we need to reflect it through this particular line. So of course, the easiest way of performing a reflection, you can use a set square. You simply ensure that the set square is perpendicular to the mirror line, which of course in this case the mirror line is the y-axis. So if I align this one here, then you are simply going to move it. Let me try to elongate this particular set square. So the movements need to be along. They are supposed to meet these the mirror line at 90 degrees. So clearly, if we try to count the number of boxes from the mirror line, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. Similarly, on the other side, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6. So this one simply means that the point B prime will come at this particular coordinate. After 6, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our B prime prime should come at this particular point. So this is B prime prime. Similarly, for the point D, we perform the same procedure. Of course, there are still 6 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this point is supposed to come at this particular point. So that means that our points, this will be the coordinate C prime prime, then this will be the coordinate B prime prime. Of course, if a point lies on the mirror line, it means if you reflect it, it will still remain to be at the same point. So at this point, we are also going to have what we call the D prime prime. Because the point is on the same mirror line, therefore there won't be any movement. Similarly, our A prime prime will still be at this particular point. So we are going to have the A prime prime at the same point because the point is on the mirror line, that is the line X is equal to 0 or the Y axis. Then of course after that we are going to connect the points. So A prime prime should be connected to B prime prime this way. Similarly, B prime prime should be connected to C prime prime, then C prime prime to be connected to D prime prime, then of course D prime prime to be connected back to A prime prime. That is the starting point this way. Then for Roman 3, we are told that A 3 prime, B prime prime prime, C prime prime prime, D prime prime prime, the image of A prime prime, B prime prime, C prime prime, D prime prime, under a rotation through positive 90 degrees about the origin or the point 0, 0. So remember, a rotation in the positive direction is simply a rotation through what we call the clock, that is the anti-clockwise direction. So if we need to rotate, we have to connect all the points to the center of rotation, and we are told that the center of rotation in this case is the origin or the point 0, 0. Therefore, I'm going to connect all points to the center of rotation. So starting with point A, I'm going to connect it to the origin, that is the point 0, 0. Then point B, I also connect it to the center of rotation, the point 0, 0. Then point C should also be connected to the center of rotation. Then point D must also be connected to the center of rotation, that is as shown. Then of course it is a rotation in the positive direction or the anti-clockwise direction. So using my protractor, I'm going to align it at the center of that rotation. So I'm going to start with point A. So we need to rotate it through positive 90 degrees. So of course positive 90 degrees, this one simply means that I need to perform the movements in such a way that I'm going to draw a line through, that is from the center through the 90 degrees. So of course that line will lie along the x-axis this way. Then of course using my pair of compass, I'm going to ensure that the distance from the center of rotation, so this distance, let me remove the protractor. We need to ensure that the distance from the center of rotation to our A prime prime is the same as the distance from the center of rotation to A prime prime prime. So we need to ensure that this distance is the same. So once we have that, you simply rotate. So of course the point will actually be here. So this will be the new point. It will come at this point. So this will give us what we are calling the A prime prime. But because the A prime prime are on the same line with the point D, I can also perform the same rotation using the same line. So I'm going to align my pair of compass through point D. So that is where we have D. Then I rotate through the same line. Then of course I need to locate the point D. So our D prime prime will be at this point. So this is what we are calling the D prime prime. So this will be our D prime prime, this point here. So this is our point D, then prime prime. So this will give us the point D, then prime prime. Sorry, this should be 3 primes because this was prime prime. Then we move to point C. So for the point C, I'm going to use my protractor. I align it to the center of rotation. Then of course after that, I'm going to align my protractor such that it is in line with the line that is going to meet the point C, so of course this way. Then where we have 90 degrees, I'm going to draw a line from the center through the 90 degrees this way. Then of course, using my protractor, using my pair of compass, I'm going to ensure that the distance from the center of rotation to point C is the same as the one of the image that I need to obtain. So with that distance, I simply perform the rotation. So actually this point is supposed to, this point should be here. So this will be the point C prime prime. So this will be C prime prime prime. Then we move to point, the remaining point is actually point B. So similarly, I'll take my protractor through the center, then I align it along the line that is going to meet B prime prime. Then where we have 90, I'm going to draw a line from the center through the 90 degrees. So this is where I have the 90 degrees. Then let me remove this. So using the protractor, that is the pair of compass, I'll ensure that this distance to point B is the same. So I'm simply going to rotate it in this manner. So you can see our B prime prime is supposed to be here. So this is the B prime prime prime. After that, of course, I'm going to connect the points A prime prime to B prime prime. So let me connect this. Let me use a different ink. So let me connect A prime prime to B prime prime. Then B prime prime should be connected to C prime prime. Then C prime prime should be connected to D prime prime. Then of course D prime prime should be connected back to the point A prime prime. So that is a rotation through positive 90 degrees about the origin. Then in part C, we are told to describe a single transformation that maps A prime prime onto A3 prime. So A prime prime, it was here, and of course they want us to compare this diagram here and this final image here, that we need to obtain a transformation that is defining those two. So just by observation, the transformation is actually a reflection, because if you look at point A and A prime, you can see, then we have B prime, then we have B prime prime, then C prime, then C prime prime. So if it is a reflection, we need to obtain what we call the mirror line, because a reflection is usually defined by a mirror line. So if I need to obtain the mirror line, I'm going to use the point A. I simply take my pair of compass through point A, then I take it such that it goes through the point A prime prime. So this is my point A prime prime. Then I want to construct a mirror line. So you take your compass this way. Once it has aligned there, then you need to construct a perpendicular between these two. So I need a perpendicular between these 2 points. Let me use a different ink, maybe a black one will work. So once you have your pair of compass that way, you make an arc on this side, then you also make an arc on the lower side. I also need another arc here. Then once you have that, you transfer with the same radius, you transfer your compass to A prime prime, then you make another arc to meet the first one this way, then you rotate, you also make another arc to meet the first one. Remember, you can use either point A or B or C. The line is supposed to be the same. So once you have that, you join this particular two. We are going to join the points of intersection of these two particular lines this way. And if you are very keen, you realize that this is the line y is equals to negative x, because if you just want to find the equation of the line, you pick any 2 points. For example, if I try to pick a point like this one here, this is the point 3, then negative 3. Then if I also pick another point on this line, this is the point 0, 0. So you can use those 2 points to find the equation of that particular line. So let me use those 2 points to find the equation of the line. So I'm having 2 coordinates, so I need to find the gradient. So the gradient will be 1 point, so this will be my x, then this is y, then 0, 0, this is x, this is also y. So of course gradient you need y2 minus y1, then you divide with x2 minus x1. So if I let this to be x1, y1, then this will be x2, y2. So I'm going to have my y2 will be 0, so 0 minus my y1 is negative 3 minus 3 over x2 is 0, then minus x1 is positive 3. So this will give me negative 3 minus 0 minus 3, you'll get positive 3. 0 minus 3, you'll get negative 3. So the gradient will actually be equal to negative 1. So the equation will be y is equals mx plus c. So negative 1 is equals to, I choose a point x, y. So I'm going to have, change in y over change in x. So this will be y minus, let me use the coordinate 0, 0. So the y will be 0 over x, then minus 0. So this is negative 1 is equals to y minus 0 is y, x minus 0, you'll get x. Therefore, if I multiply both sides of the equation by x, I'm going to obtain the equation as y is equals to x multiplied by negative 1, you're going to get negative x. Therefore, to describe the transformation, the description will be that the transformation is a reflection. It is a reflection through the line y is equals to negative x. So that is how we describe a transformation. So in our next classes, we'll be looking at further examples. Thank you. Until next time, this is Kind Tuition Academy.